Hello, I'm John. Welcome. We are hosting Barry Herniman today for a little special demo. We're going to be doing a little demo, but we're also going to be talking about an upcoming series that is happening in August. And it's going to be a lovely series. It's going to be one where you can learn a few things, but it's more importantly, it's going to be all about the fun of doing a bit of pen and wash and together on some really iconic images. So as references, and we're going to be doing 4 paintings, and we'll talk all about that in a minute. But before we do that, let me say hello to Barry. Now, Barry's not in his normal art studio because he's had a real issue with his Wi-Fi, but we'll find out a little bit more about that now. Hi, Barry, how are you?
Hi, John. Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Yes,
Yeah,
bit cold,
so
bit
this
of cold.
the Wi-Fi went down at the weekend, and you've been in touch with our the telecommunications company called BT in the UK, and they promised the world that they'd be shipping you the new thing the next day, and obviously it hasn't arrived, which
Zero.
no
Yeah,
surprises there. So you're in the dining room.
yeah.
um, on your phone or something. So we're going to be doing this demo. It might be a little bit clunky because it's not quite set up, but obviously in a month's time when we do this series, everything will be sorted like we've done before. So yeah, just it's timing, isn't it? It's always the way, always the way. So this upcoming series, we're because we did a series some months ago, didn't we, where it was introducing our audience to the food pen, Fude, and I think you've probably got one there in front of you. And it's got a bent nib, and it's quite interesting. And obviously, Barry, you can maybe say a little bit about that if people aren't familiar with it. But Barry absolutely loves this pen. It's his sort of go-to thing because it makes things really quick, simple, but varied, and the presentation of the art is just it's got a lot of personality. And once you've sketched down your scene, whatever that might be, you can add watercolor, but you don't have to be really complex about it because you've already got a lot of the
Bones.
lights and darks in your painting through the use of the food pen. So maybe you can just talk a little bit more about the process, Barry,
Yep.
and maybe show some examples of some of the paintings that you've done with it.
Yep. Okay. No problem. Well, welcome everyone. Those, I presume, some of you have been with me before, so hopefully you know all about the old new Feud pen. This is the pen here, and it's called the Feud F-U-D-E bent nib pen. And I don't know if you can see that, but it
Yes.
literally got a bent nib. Now, the beauty of this pen is it's a sketching pen. Okay, it's like a fountain pen. You can undo the barrel, and then you've got sort of like this. You can dip your pen into your ink, and then by turning that, you lift up a whole lot of ink, and away you go. Many years ago, I was an illustrator, and I used to use Indian ink and everything else. Indian ink in different pens and everything else was absolutely fine while it was wet. As soon as it dried, you used to have to spend about half an hour cleaning every pen before you started. Not so with the Feud nib. With the Feud nib, I'm actually using this wonderful stuff here, which is called carbon ink, carbon black ink. I don't, can you see that there? Beautiful ink. Not very cheap. I mean, it's about 16 quid or 16 pounds for a
That's
small
probably
bottle.
about $20, something like that.
20 odd dollars, that's right. The beauty of this is it's very, very dark, very black. It goes on beautifully, and when it's dry, it's waterproof. But the beauty of it is it doesn't stick in the pen. So it means that every time I want to come and use my pen, take off the lovely airtight, little airtight top, take that off, and away you go, and you can paint away, which is absolutely brilliant. Now, the one thing I want to show is the speed that you can use as a sketching medium. This pen is absolutely beautiful. You can get the thinnest of thin lines, and then just by turning the nib, you can get a really nice thick line or whatever, just with this one nib, and it's absolutely beautiful. Also, while it's wet, you can move by adding a drop of water. You can actually move the tones around, so you can get tonal work into it as well. So you can get, by the time you finish, you can have an absolutely beautiful tonal study. I've got one here. That's one I did earlier, as they say. So there you see. So you see a lovely, lovely. All those. Look at all those lovely darks. All that. And that's just what's it of the pen, one mark of the pen there, and
Yeah.
look at all these lovely. All I've done here is I've added some water to the black ink, and we've got some lovely grey tones. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? So that's what we're done. That's what we're going to concentrate with today. We're just going to show you, really just have a bit of fun, chuck some paint around, and then just show you how versatile this pen is and how versatile the ink is.
If I
Please,
could just interject, Barry, just to reinforce that, could you just hold up that monochrome picture again that you were just showing?
yeah, you can.
So if you were doing a plein air sketch or something, so an outdoor sketch, and you're going on holiday and you want to take a record, the only materials that you'd need is obviously a piece of paper, your pen with the ink in it, some water, and a brush. And
That's
you
it.
could create that. I mean, it really is so simple. And then you can bring it back home or whatever. So you can do that while you're outside. It's a really good visual live record of what you're seeing. And then you can come back home and maybe you've taken a photo of it as well. And then you can add the color to it at a later date. So it's a really good way of making a live record of something, and then that's why I think Barry really likes it, and it's something I've really been inspired by as well.
And also, you see, because you put all your tones down, you haven't got to have a whole plethora of different colours. I mean, you've got to have some yellows, some blues, and some reds, and pretty much. Well, we should, when we get to the actual demos in the future, you'll see that I'll be putting down a whole lot of tone, like we've done in that picture, and then we'll just be adding the basic colours: some greens for the trees, and maybe browny colours for the trunks, and maybe a little bit of orangey stuff for the sand or whatever, and that's it. And you've really got an absolutely fabulous, very quick sketch in no time at all. And
Yeah.
I think that's where this really does come into its own.
Yeah. So today Barry's going to be doing it's a sort of a country scene, isn't it? Have you got
Yeah.
so this is a reference. Now we didn't share this because it's just going to be a sort of a watch and talk. And but we're going to do a simple little scene like that. But
Just a little bit of that there, just to show you what. Yeah.
in it, you'll get an idea of how he works with the pen and the wash of the water. I think maybe we'll just do the pen to start with, to be honest, on this, a monochrome. We may not have quite enough time. But just to share with everybody what we're going to be doing in the series. So the series is four classes, so 1 hour per class within the month. So next month, so we've got a whole month to prepare for it. And we're going to be doing 4 really iconic photo references. So let me just get me into a little mini state. And so the first one I think we're going to be doing is Stonehenge. So we're going to be doing Stonehenge all together. So that'll be a really nice thing. And maybe I'll do a little bit of research on the historical things. We can have a bit of a history lesson as well on that as well. Then we're going to be doing a waterfall, which is a really sort of lovely scene there. Then a very, very sort of romantic reference of the Taj Mahal. So that will be quite interesting, a sort of a night scene of Taj Mahal as well, which will be lovely. And then we're going a little bit marine and doing an old rusty boat in a harbour. So those are going to be the things which we can maybe talk about a bit later. If you've got any questions, please write that down on the chat. But as for now, we will go back to Barry and we will do this little demo. And Trina wrote, "Good morning, John and Barry, from a very, 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 very hot Sacramento. Glad to be here this morning." How hot is it, Trina? Do tell us in the chat. If you can do it in, you can do it in Fahrenheit. I'll look it up, but I can never convert it to centigrade. I never know quite what it is. Brilliant. So Barry's turning his thing round. Thanks for accommodating this, Barry, because it's a bit awkward. I know, being in a different room than normal.
Yeah, never mind.
I won't swear about BT, but yeah.
Oh, don't even. Well, it's EE now.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not even going to go in there. I'm not even going to go there. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So over to you.
Okay. Right, welcome, folks. So here we have a nice piece of white paper. People always say, "Oh, this white paper is daunting." No, I can't wait. As soon as I've got a bit of white paper, I want to get painting. So what we'll do, we'll start off. I'll just show you just quickly here how the difference in this pen. Look at this. Look, there's a line. And then just by pressing down, look at that. All it with one pen. Isn't that gorgeous? Look, there we go. And then press down a bit more. And so look at all these different lines you can get just with this one pen. Okay, so let's get in and move along. So again, I'm not putting this on. I'm going to do what they call a vignette. I'm just going to do a little bit of what's here, and we'll phase out the rest of it. But I just want to show you the versatility of this wonderful pen. You know, it really is. Now look, while that's wet, we can go in and use our brush. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? So just put a little bit of darkness. So we've got a lovely bit of tone already. Look at that.
Now, just to let you know, Trina said that it is about 110 Fahrenheit, which by my calculations equates to just over 43 degrees centigrade.
Oh, you are joking.
Really hot. And they've had it for 10 plus days in a row. That is crazy. And that's why in the US, I think everybody has air conditioning systems in there.
Well, they've got to, haven't they? That's ridiculous.
We don't have it over here, but I sometimes think when we have those odd hot days, I do think, oh God, we really need it here.
Yeah.
Karin's also said that paper looks like it's got great texture. What is it?
It's Hahnemuller, which is a German.
Yes.
It's Hahnemuller, and it's what they call Andalusia, okay? And it's a lovely paper. I don't usually I didn't realize I'd got one with a texture, but as it happens, it really doesn't matter. So here we are. So we've got our lines there. Now watch this. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? I really just love this pen. I really do. Now we'll get a little bit of hair flick in there as well, you know, just to get a bit of texture in. And while that's all going, so we just use this wonderful medium here, this mixer called the forefinger, and look at that. There we go. So that's a little bit there. So we're going to get a little bit of foliage coming in here. So again, you can just put a little bit in there like that, and straight in with a. There we go.
Now Trina's asked, do you dip your pen into the ink? I think you have an ink cartridge, don't you? You fill up the.
No, it's actually got a reservoir. There's an actual reservoir. Did I show you the reservoir?
Oh yes, I remember. And you dip it in and then suck it up.
Yeah, you see, so there it is. So there's a barrel there, and what you do is you twist this, and it sucks up a whole load of lovely black ink in there, and then away you go. So it's like a fountain pen, really, with with that reservoir, and that reservoir is absolutely wonderful. It holds loads of ink. It really does. So we just put that one in there like that. And then we get a little bit of counter change, a little bit of light against dark, dark against light. So we've got a lovely bit of light down here. Let's get a little bit of dark coming down there. There we go. And all of a sudden, by putting that dark in there, we can see we have a bit of what they call counter change. And I'm always banging on about counter change. Counter change, I think, is the most important thing for me, because it's the lights and the darks that make for a painting, you know. So keep that light there a little. There we are. And this is almost like a dry brush now, and I'm just going to, look at that. Isn't that lovely? And we're looking here with totally tonal. Totally tonal. That's a good one, isn't it? So there we go. So we can bring that up there. We can put a bit more tree into there as well. Okay, so put a bit more tree into there. And again, look, light against dark. There we are. Isn't that lovely? So all the time we're looking at these beautiful tonal comparisons with the lights and the darks all the time, and you'll find that your work, once you start this, now I can use the back end of my brush and get some little bits and pieces out of here, get a bit of, and there's a bit underneath there, so we can take a bit of that and plonk that in there. There we go. So that's looking good. That's rather nice there. So let's bring this across here and put in a cup. Let's put this other tree coming up through here. And that's sitting there. Now this actually is, it was taken on the in Montenegro, and it was a lovely coastal walk. And I saw these trees, and they're bending against the prevailing winds. So there we are. So again, we pull those down through there. And you notice how, look, we're getting all these lovely thin lines, and then just by pressing the fewed nib, you can get all those gorgeous thick lines as well. So we'll put that down through there. Actually, that brush has not got a very fine point to it. Let's try this one. Oh, that looks a bit right. So we got another one coming out there. There we go. And while it's wet, you see, while it's wet, you can drop the. There we go. Drop that into there. So
yeah,
nice.
so you can spread it and dilute it.
Oh,
with
absolutely.
water while it's wet, but then once it's dry, it's permanent.
It's waterproof. It's absolutely
yeah.
waterproof, and that's the beauty. Because if it wasn't waterproof, you wouldn't. Well, you could put some color on it, but obviously it would all move around. So that's not really what you want. So here we go. We're going to get a little bit more texture in here as well. And imagine, when I did some demos for a couple of art groups, I was sort of pretending when I did them. I was pretending that, I was outside and I only had a certain amount of time to get this done. And so they actually timed me. And I said, they said, well, how quick could you do it? And I said, well, I could probably do it in 15, 20 minutes. So they timed me, and I actually did it in 15. So a whole watercolor, a whole set, and it is. And I did a whole demo, in that time. So it can be done. There we go. Move that about in there. There we go. And again, look, it's a little bit of.
It reminds me a little bit like watercolor pencils, where you sometimes will just scratch on a color and then you can go in and spread it around a bit.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right, John. Yeah, yeah. No, it is. Well, it is, and it's that beautiful. I don't know if you remember the old days when we used to get these. Someone was saying it was like you used to get these pencils and you mess around with them and just add a little drop of water and away it went. It's a bit like that. Whoops.
Rina said, I like the line quality, and the textured paper really adds something. And I think especially as the brush gets slightly drier, that dry brush technique really adds when it's a textured paper like this, it works really well.
Let me, okay, if you like that, you watch this now. I'm just using the side of that. There we are. Look at that. Just by dragging there. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is a plus. By using a textured paper, you're getting a double whammy. You not only are you getting the texture of the ink, you're also getting the lovely texture of the paper, which really does. There we are. There's a whole lot of. Just get a little bit of dark coming down through there. Then let's get a few little knocks coming in here. I mean, you see, we're almost done. It's there's no hanging about with this with old hair flick. I tell you, when he gets moving. But that's the thing. You see, that's what I want. It's not a finished picture per se. It's a quick sketch, and the speed is all about. It's all about the speed, and if you like that, and of course, when we come to do the actual workshops, we'll be adding to this, so here we are. So we get a whole load of little twigs and branches coming out, and look at that line. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm just going to put a bit of texture down through here, a couple of little stones, little twigs, and that. So let's just put that in there, put another one in there, and then I'm going to add a little bit of texture coming into here. Here we go. So that it actually brings.
Karen said, that's gorgeous. In capitals.
Lovely. I love it when people really, when they get this, get the buzz, because, it's, obviously I get the buzz anyway, but it's nice to be able to give it to other people as well. So there you go.
Now,
So
Paul has asked, does the ink come in different colors or only black? But I would
I,
imagine I mean, you could use different colors if you can find,
if
I
you
mean,
can, I mean, what would be lovely? Actually, I don't know. I haven't looked into that. What would be lovely is if you could get a sepia. Wouldn't that be fabulous? Well, I don't know. I mean,
hmm,
I've only looked this up. It's it's called carbon black. It's called
yeah.
carbon black ink, and I don't know. You'd have to.
Trina said that she's found that ink in at jet pens and looks like it comes in blue and red as well.
Whoa, whoa. Well, there you go. You never know. Well, if that's the case, then that's fabulous. I'm just going to put in a shadow coming across there. Don't want that too dark, so I just there we go. Put a shadow in there. Put that shadow in there, and
And brown and sepia. Oh, there we go. So
yeah,
got every color under the rainbow.
there you go. Right. Well, folks. I mean, really, there's your. There it is.
Yeah, brilliant. And so quick. I mean, you can imagine knocking that out, can't can you? If you're sat on a rock, you've gone for a walk, you sit on the rock, you've got just those three little items with you, and you can
Yeah,
just create that
yeah,
as a lasting memory. And then if you want to add color to it, you could do that later.
absolutely. And like I was saying, now if you, I'd like that to be a bit darker, so I'm just going to put that. Going to put that in because I want that's really that's a fir tree, so that needs to be quite dark. So let's just add a bit more. There we go. There we go. So just add a bit more dark. So all I've done is I've put a bit of a scribble in there. There you are. Just adds that little extra. There you are, folks. I mean,
Brilliant.
it's
Brilliant.
not everybody's cup of tea, but I think if you like something speedy, which is what this is, it's all about sketching, about grabbing the moment, and enjoying it. And the thing is, it's a vignette. Look, I haven't gone to all four corners because so many times I've had students saying, "Oh, this is the bit I want to do," and oh, you've got to paint here, and you can almost feel them. Oh my goodness, So leave it. If that's the bit you want, paint that bit. Leave the rest of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was really good. And now Trina said, how do you clean your brush after you've been doing it? Because obviously it is permanent ink, but I would imagine because the water keeps it diluted when you're first doing it, I would imagine you can just wash it off quite easily, can you?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. It's very easy to
Yeah.
you just in water. Yeah, water does it. Yeah, it's not like acrylic. If you let acrylic dry in your brush, you really have got some sort of problem. But no, this ink is absolutely gorgeous. It really is. But please, 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 folks, when you get it, don't get normal. There's a lot of inks out there, and what happens is they dry and they'll dry in, and you can imagine trying to clean this thing if it had dried in the pen, and I mean really that would be, and that would spoil it all because
Yeah.
for years I've not bothered using sketching pens. There's been rotary pens, there's been all sorts of sketching pens, but the ink that you use dries in them, so it means before you start you've got to go through all the hassle of cleaning it. So
Yes. Yes. And I would imagine if you do want to join us for a bit of fun next month and do these 4 classes, we'll obviously be going through in the slightly longer than we've just done
yeah,
now, and we'll be going through step by step on all the different things as well. And those classes as well will be a little bit more integrated with the audience, so a bit like we're doing today, where I can show everybody and you can hold up your paintings. We can have direct feedback from Barry. So
yeah.
it'll be quite fun. It'll be like we're all in the same room together. I would imagine that if I just show those references again, so the first one being this one, I would imagine maybe having textured paper, if you can equip yourself with those, if you are joining us, would really benefit because of the rock textures on Stonehenge. So that might really work. And I would imagine also on the boat as well, because you've got the different sort of rusty and the wood textures on there. That might really help with a textured paper. Would you agree with that, Barry?
Yeah. The only thing is with a textured paper, the pen doesn't flow along the.
Okay.
But for me, so what I do is I usually use hot pressed, which is a smooth paper, but and I put all my own textures in. But you can see from what we did there. I mean, there's loads of texture in there, isn't
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
It's horses for courses. If you like, yes, your paper is your choice. Yes, of course, obviously.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use too much texture on this one.
No, definitely not. No, I think this one's more a
No,
smooth one. So and
and that
possibly
one,
with
yeah,
this one as well.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. No, I think that's good advice. And yes, I think yeah, you might decide that you want to try different ones in each class and use it as a learning experience and try yourself and just try
Yeah,
different papers, different textures, and
absolutely,
and you'll find out different things in those classes. So that might be a good way of doing it.
absolutely, yeah.
Brilliant. Have we got any questions? Let's have a little look. So somebody says sketch ink is in various colors. Ink tube are called converters. Not all pens come with converters, but are available. Yes. Okay. So it's that thing that you dip down and suck it up.
Yeah.
Trina said, I love sketching with my parallel pen, but I think I'd like to give the Fud pen bent nib a go. I recall when Barry showed it a while back. Yeah. And I think it's worth investing in one because I think it's quite a nice one to have in your arsenal. For me, I was sold on the fact that you can, rather than having different pens with different width nibs or different thing, this one has it all in one, and it just makes it a really easy tool that you can carry around, and you can do it there and then. So Trina asks, when does the series start? So if you go, oh, that's a good point. I did want to mention that. So head over to our website, Shop Keep Arty, and if you go to our events page, you'll see it there, and it's very clear. And then you can click through, and it's got a link to book. So go to shopkeeparty.com, click on the events, and you'll see. And our first one starts on the 13th of August. So that's Tuesday the 13th. And then it's every week then for the next 4 weeks on a Tuesday. So every Tuesday at 3:30 in the afternoon UK time. So, or first thing in the morning in Sacramento. You can log in and do that on a Tuesday. So something to look forward to over the course of that month. Brilliant. Well, oh, and Mary Jane said, I took the last series and have really enjoyed the pen. So that's really good. So we're just about having this one's more, if you've done it before, it's about just doing 4 new paintings and pictures and having a bit of fun. If you're new to the Fud pen, then it's a way that you can experiment and ask lots of questions about it. So we'll just as a group have lots of fun, a summer fun. There you go, about it, and we'll see what we do. Brilliant. Barry, thank you. Trina said, I also took the last series of Barry, but didn't have the pen, so worked with my parallel pen.
All right. So,
Glad to hear you had a fabulous experience. See you at the next series. So looking forward to seeing you all there. Check out our website if you want to book. By the way, if you do book and you join our live events, you get, as part of the price, you get the videos as well, so that you can watch them time and time again. You can watch them as many times as you want. If you missed one of the episodes or 2 or whatever, you get the video, so you can always just watch them as well. So you've got the choice. You can join in live. If you can't make it, you've got the video anyway, so that doesn't really matter. And if you're one of our patrons at level 2 or up, you get a 50% discount, which is really great. Barry, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for making some allowances and bringing us all with you into your dining room. It's been lovely to have you again.
okay, John, and thank you everyone for your positive comments, and hopefully, Trina, with your new pen, she'll look forward to putting it into practice. That would be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trina said, thank you so much, John and Barry. Love Barry's demos and classes and John's enthusiasm. Thank you, Trina. And Anne said, thank you for this entree. I've enjoyed it. So thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Okay, folks. Cheers then.
Bye.
Bye bye now.